I was thinking of just morning. You know how they say, how there's a special morning that you hear in the office. Morning, morning, morning.
Yeah. Never say it
That's
anymore.
what I just thought of now. Morning.
Morning.
There's always that specific sing song.
Yeah. That's so
and you know
true.
you're in an office somewhere in the UK.
Yes.
And you hear morning.
I want them somebody somewhere to do one of those, but like around the world. I want to hear what the tones are in offices everywhere.
Yes.
Like
yes.
what is it in France? What is it in Lagos? What is it in New York? Like, and where is it? Just
Maybe
nothing.
we don't want to hear the one in Lagos. Lagos employers are notoriously notorious.
Anyway, that has absolutely nothing to do with today's dilemma, but I just like to talk. So the subject line of today's dilemma is, I like him, but I don't rate him.
Hey, God. When we talk about Nollywood movies, a couple of episodes ago.
Exactly.
This is a film. I'm seated. I have my popcorn ready. Let's go.
It's not romantic.
Oh, is it not?
It's not romantic.
Okay.
It's just professional.
Oh, okay. If you must.
Okay, and this is from Kay. All right, Kay. You don't want it to make it juicy. All right, fine. Okay. I like him, but I don't rate him. Hey, undo. I feel a bit bad writing this, but here goes. I really like my manager.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's call him Rob. He's kind, thoughtful, and supportive. He's the kind of manager that actually notices when you're off your game and checks in. He remembers birthdays, he always asks how my little girl is doing, and he genuinely makes space for life outside of work. Rob gave me a chance when not many would. I was clearly pregnant when I interviewed for this role, and he hired me anyway. He supported me through a tricky pregnancy and made sure that my mat leave transition was smooth, and he never sidelined me or let me feel forgotten. When I came back, he made sure I had plenty of opportunities and not just admin overflow, and that really means something. But the truth is, I just don't think he's very good at his job. I've lost count of how many times he's dropped the ball, confused deadlines, gone blank in meetings, missed really obvious red flags. We work at a major charity, so it's not the kind of place where those mistakes go unnoticed. They affect funding, and more importantly, they affect real people. I found myself cleaning up behind him more times than I can say. I'm always rewording things, resending things, and covering his back. And now people come to me with the hard stuff, not him. At first, I thought maybe it was nerves or he was having a few bad months, but we're over a year in and it's clear this is just who he is. And while I've learned a lot under him, it hasn't been the way I expected to learn. I'm starting to feel stuck. I owe him a lot and I don't want to seem disloyal or undermine him, but I also don't want my career to stall because I'm propping up someone who really can't lead. Have you ever been in this kind of situation? What do you do when you like someone as a person, but professionally it's not clicking? I'm keen to hear any ideas you have. Thanks, Kay. Kay, you said, have you ever been in this situation? What did you do? No, I actually haven't been in this kind of situation. The last time I worked for someone that I didn't rate, I quit. So, I might have told that story before on this podcast.
Yes, you have.
But I actually haven't been in this situation. This is really, really hard. Rob sounds wonderful. Like, he sounds like a really good person, in that he's empathetic, he's got some really lovely values, he cares deeply. However, there are some things you can't overlook. And you might like him as a person, but the way you engage is as professionals, and he's letting himself down, and in so doing, he's letting you down. I understand that you feel a great deal of gratitude towards him, but it doesn't mean that you are in his debt. Certainly not forever, right? Like, it's not like there's a lifetime contract that because he did what he did for you, that now you have to continuously support him until the end of time. He showed up for you when it really mattered, and it's something to be grateful and thankful for. But at some point, you've got to come to terms with the fact that you've outgrown him, outgrown his leadership. And that kind of recognition, it doesn't mean that you're being disloyal. We talked, I think it was season 1, we did burnout. Was it season 1 we talked about burnout?
I feel like it was.
It might have been sometime.
At
some point earlier this year, we had an episode about burnout.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the types of burnout that we talked about was one that came from like stagnancy.
Mm-hmm.
And you are at risk of falling into that space, right? Like you said, you've learned a lot, but actually it's going to come to a point where you're not actually learning anymore. You're just constantly cleaning up after him, and you're not being rewarded for it. You're effectively doing his job.
Yeah.
But you're not getting the full reward and recompense for that. And also, it doesn't help him if you're always fixing his issues.
Mm-hmm.
You have now assumed the role of leader. People are coming to you with hard stuff.
And he's still getting paid.
He's getting paid for that.
For that, yeah.
That's actually not even vaguely fair. Yes,
Yeah,
you have learned a lot under Rob, but not in the way that you should have learned. You were not taught. You weren't, guided through it. You had no choice but to pick things up. You've learned to lead because leadership was missing. You've got a good deal of integrity because he's always his ineptitude is keeping you under pressure. Right? This isn't fair. You've got a lot of skills, but they're not being rewarded. And I have a problem with that. No matter what he's done for you in the past, that can't run. So I'm going to ask you a question. I don't want to be combative when I ask this, but I'm going to ask you, what are you afraid of? What is it you don't want to do? Are you afraid of hurting his feelings? Are you afraid of seeming like an ingrate? Are you worried about what other people might think? You said something here. Where was it? You said something like, I don't want to seem disloyal or undermine him. Is that what you're worried about? What other people might think?
Why do you have to undermine him? Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah.
Because this loyalty that this thing you're calling loyalty, it's going to become betrayal to yourself. If you're not careful, you're going to start limiting yourself, and this kindness that you're displaying to him is going to start being at your own expense. Okay? So, how I see things, and I get it. This guy, he's a good guy. He's really helped you. You don't want to stab him in the back. Okay, cool. So you can start moving forward with grace. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be a big confrontation. When things come in now, think about visibility. And again, we have had an episode on visibility. Scroll up. Visibility. But visibility. When things come through, try and make sure your name is on it. So co-lead a project or something, or just take on the lead role. It's not Rob's doing it badly, but actually Kay's picking it all up, but secretly Kay's doing it. But no, publicly Kay's doing it. If there are things that, if you're fixing things, and don't give it back to him to send or to present. No, if you've done the work, you present that. And, really reinforce those relationships with these other people. It seems like people know, since they're coming to you first, they know that you're the one who's doing it. Don't be shy about that. It is what it is. You are doing the work, so be on it. Put your voice, your face, your name on it. Okay? Help him to an extent, but stop covering up for him. If he fucks up, let it be fucked up. If it slips, let it slip. It's not, you might say, oh, but Darcy, I don't want to sabotage. It's not sabotage. It's transparency. Sometimes the cracks need to be evident so that we know what we're fixing.
Ooh-wee.
Okay? So it might feel hard, and I feel like you're the type of person that you would, if you see something on the floor, you're going to pick it up. It doesn't matter who dropped it. Sometimes let the person who dropped that thing pick it up. You don't have to be the one to pick it up, Kay. Not because he helped you out before or because he's a kind person, but actually for his benefit, because actually he can't keep doing things like he needs to step it up. We don't know what's going on with him. Maybe there is something happening with him. Maybe he's in burnout or in depression or whatever. So many things could be happening to have got him to this point. I dare say he wasn't always like this. Otherwise he wouldn't be in a leadership position. Well, no, I'm going to take that back, because actually I think back there's a lot of shit leaders out there who have always been shit. So whatever. But, chances are something is going on with him. Who's to say? It's not helping him if you're always propping him up. So for both him and you, if he messes up, let his mess be his mess. If new things are coming in that you can pick up and put your name on it, there you go. That's what you need to do. Okay? Kindness and niceness, again, we've talked about this in a previous episode, are not the same thing. Be kind, but don't be nice. And don't self-sacrifice for Rob. Okay? I hope that doesn't feel too harsh, but that's where I'm at.
Girl, see, when you said sometimes you just have to let things drop, I felt that. Because here's the thing, Kay. You said you feel pressure, but no, you received that pressure. You accepted the pressure came your way. And instead of putting your hands up and saying, that's not my pressure, you said, you held your arms out to me and said, yeah, I'll take the pressure. He didn't put that pressure on you. You received it. Yeah. And so you need to, again, this is your manager. He's not the one, I don't know if he's the one signing your paychecks or whatever, but like loyalty is for like, you know, what's kind about loyalty is, this is a job. You're providing a service or time or expertise and you're getting paid for it. It's transactional. It's a transaction. This is not, this is not, I don't know, it's a charity, but it's still a job. You're getting paid. So
yeah,
I
you're
think
volunteering.
I feel like the lines are getting blurred a little bit, and I think maybe you need to just separate. It's a job, and I'll challenge you a little bit, Kay, and say, you talked about how he supported you through a tricky pregnancy. How? Because I know a little bit about being pregnant, and especially if you're having a tricky one. I can't imagine you on your A game at work. And so that period where you were not on your A game at work, how did he treat you? And just have a think about that, because you are now back at work. You are on your A game. Somebody isn't. But you weren't always on that, because you said it. I'm just going by what you said. He supported you. So he filled in the gap for you in some way, shape, or form, whether it was through performance or whether it was through presence, whatever. Maybe you had appointments or you had it. Whatever it is, he filled in gaps for you in that way. So I'm not saying you need to fill in the gaps for him. I'm saying, I don't know, I just got a sense of, of disappointment in him or something like that. Don't extend some grace to him, but also think about, why do I feel the need to take on this pressure?
I suspect that you've hit on something there. I think he probably did have her back a lot. Maybe she did have appointments and time off and all that.
Yeah.
And he picked slack up, and that would explain
why she feels so conflicted now.
That's why she's like, let me pick stuff up for him now.
That's
probably what it is.
And so the thing you have to now ask yourself is, does the way you respond in this situation, does it help you and help him? I don't know if it's helping him. I don't know if it's helping you, because you wrote into us. So what if what you're doing currently is not really helping you or helping him? Then a change of tactic is needed. That would be my take, is a change of tactic is needed. But again, remember, someone extended grace to you. You don't have to undermine, like, there's a middle ground here, right? It can't just be either you pick up all the slack or you undermine him.
No.
There needs to be some way in between, and maybe have a think about that in between way. How I know you wrote into us to help you discover that, but there's some things that honestly, Kay, we don't know exactly what the dynamic is in your place of work. We don't know exactly what the dynamic is in your relationship, in your day to day. You know that, so maybe. You're not a terrible person, Kay, for thinking this. You're not a terrible person, Kay, for writing in and saying these things. You are not a terrible person. In fact, the fact that you did that, you are self-aware enough to know that something needs to change. Maybe you just need permission to yourself to be like, okay, something needs to change. But also, I would say, while you are doing that change, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. I would say throw the all or nothing mentality out the window. You don't need to undermine him to to have positive change in that work environment. I think it's one of those things where you think about how, like Dulcie said, instead of you just clean up behind him, step forward.
Mm-hmm.
If you know, be proactive about it, if that's what you want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what you want to do, you want to move into that, because you mentioned people are seeing you as leader, maybe you like that. Step forward and actually, be counted rather than working in the shadows. And maybe that's part of it as well. It's like you don't feel rewarded for working in that, it's like I'm doing all this work and nobody's even recognizing that I'm, but the people are recognizing, like Dulcie said. So get in your visibility bag, but you don't have to undermine him to do it. It can be a collaborative thing. Your performance, I don't know if you do performance reviews. You can bring up and say, okay, I'd like to pick up this piece of work. I'd like to be more visible. Make it a development thing rather than you clean up his mess thing.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just thinking
it's a tricky. I'm not gonna lie. Because he sounds like a lovely human being.
Yeah.
And he sounds like one of those managers where he's like, you wish, a lot of people wish to have a manager like that, And so there's definitely a lot of conflict there and we can sense it. But it's not all or nothing. There is a middle ground.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking maybe let me have a think. We can give you some practical tips.
Okay.
She says confidently, Ken. Because I'm thinking, I want to make sure that you listen to this and you can actually go and do something.
Yeah.
Because I'm worried about you, okay? I'm worried you're going to keep doing what you're doing. And I want you to stop it, okay? So the point that we've both made about you're doing 2 jobs, we can't do that. We got to bring that to an end, right? When he misses something, your reflex is going to be like, fix it. No, don't fix it. Do you know what you're going to do instead? Flag it. Okay, make sure flag it either to him or to someone else. But make it neutral. Make it factual. You work in a charity. Let me think. Okay, funding. Hey, Rob, I noticed that the deadline is coming up for a funding proposal. Do you want me to take a pass at it or will you handle it? So that we're clear. Because if the deadline's coming, honey. Are you going to do it or am I? And if you do it, you know what I said before, you're going to take ownership of that thing. And that's the thing to put in your achievement bank.
Yes.
Okay. Yemi said something about the collaborating, right? You're not covering for him anymore. You're collaborating. So if he fucks up, I should say something nicer. If he fumbles
the bag, quite literally.
Rather than sort of just stepping in, invite him into that, thing. Like, I've drafted the comms for the end of year report. Do you want to run through it together before it goes out?
Yes, and you'll go out with your name on it.
You get, okay?
But he'll have his sign off.
Exactly.
Win-win.
Win-win. It feels like you two have a really, really, really good relationship. So I think you can have, and he's your manager, so I think you can have an honest conversation in which you say something like, Rob, I really enjoy working with you. I appreciate how supportive you've been since I've joined, and it's made a really big difference to me. I've noticed that I am taking on more, I don't know, funding, proposals, comms, whatever it is. I'm taking on more of X, Y, Z. And actually be really clear about what you're taking on. So I'm taking more of, the production of this or the follow-up of this, or I'm taking more of the decision-making on this. Be clear about I'm taking on more this. I am happy to help, but I just want to make sure that we're using my time in the best way. How do you see our roles evolving? And you see what I'm saying there? It's our roles. Because actually, what you've made clear is the thing you're taking on more of is one of his responsibilities. So perhaps there's something... Why am I shouting? So perhaps there's something he is wanting to move up into as well. So actually, we're now starting to talk about succession.
Yeah.
Rather than you undermining or trying to land grab his territory. So there, you see, we can start to be kind of strategic.
Yeah, be allies.
So yeah, and we've both talked a lot about visibility here. Be intentional with your visibility. It doesn't mean you're stepping on his toes, but like we've said, offer to present your work at a meeting. If you have capacity, I don't know if you do with a young daughter, but if you do, are there extra things you want to take on, like steering groups or task forces? This is if maybe you're trying to build a case for promotion or whatever it might be. But like, no matter what, keep an updated portfolio of your achievements.
Yes.
Whenever you're doing these things, go put them in your bag so that when it comes time to have the necessary conversations, whether it's about promotion, pay rises, bonuses, etc., you're not depending on Rob's memory.
Yes.
You've got your list. Okay, visibility
and you're
does not.
bringing it up at your one-to-ones. Like you're keeping a
ongoing
track record that both of you are aware of. So it's not going to be a surprise to him when you rock up at your performance review, like a list of things. And
No.
like, I don't remember. No.
He
It's going to
remembers.
be a regular.
Yes.
You're going to drip feed.
Exactly. No surprises. And just, I want you to really, really focus on this thing I'm about to tell you. Okay. Visibility is not the same as disloyalty. In your case, visibility is self-protection.
Yeah.
Okay. And as always, go to therapy. If your organization offers it, consider it, right? Because there's a lot of emotional labor.
Will not hurt.
It will never hurt you. So there's a lot of an emotional labor here of kind of dealing with this floundering boss. It's bloody exhausting, and you might benefit from having a neutral space to work on that and unpack all of that stuff. And they will be far better than we are, even at helping you with boundary setting and getting the right language and being kind, but not covering for him or being complicit in his own failings, right? And listen, if shit doesn't change, then you can move on and not feel guilty at all. Okay. There's always that choice.
Yes.
Good luck, honey.
Good luck, darling.
And yeah, lots of love to you and your little girl. You're a mum too. You've got other shit to do. So just, good luck with this. I hope it does resolve itself and you and Rob can get into a better, more profitable dynamic for both of you. And yeah, listeners, if you have been in this situation, if you've been the Kay or the Rob, and you have any advice for what she should do to move things forward in a pleasant way, then hop into the comments on Spotify. And while you're there, leave us a 5-star rating review so that more people can hear our dilemmas.
Thank you.
I think that's it. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it for today. So with that, adieu.
Bye.
Farewell. Bye.